Hello everyone, I'm Amit Tiwari for Tiwari.net. The digital marketing industry and SEOs have been very early adopters of LLMs and AI. Since the day ChatGPT launched their chatbot, SEOs saw the opportunity. They saw the possibilities and they started using AI very early. We started using AI in many aspects of our workflows, but there is a lag, there is a friction. If you want to use ChatGPT or Gemini in any aspect of your workflow, you have to jump through a lot of windows, go through a lot of browsers and folders and copy something from this window and paste on another file, and then you have to copy instruction from another window and then you have to make another file. All of this creates delay. God forbid, if you have to work with images, then you have to go through a lot more hoops and file formats and everything comes crashing down. This makes the use of AI in our workflow frustrating, and it also slows down the process. Well, personally, I feel AI should speed up your workflow, not slow it down. In today's video, what we are going to do is unique. We are going to use Gemini in your system, in your computer, and work with all of your files. It can create code, it can analyze your images, it can write for you on its own. You don't have to create a file, you don't have to open a window, you don't have to open any browser, you don't have to do anything. You just need to provide instruction. All you have to do is just give instructions in one window. You will give it instruction, it will do stuff for you related to marketing, related to social media, related to PPC, whatever you want. It will analyze and follow your command. And this is not something new. I'm not going to talk about any new LLM tool. We are going to use Google's Gemini, but we are going to use its CLI version, which is short form of command line interface. We are going to use the terminal or command prompt window in Windows operating system, and then we are going to install Gemini on your computer, run through your local files and do everything for you. So let's go to the computer window and start this process. Let's learn how to install and use Gemini CLI. I'll show you how to install Gemini CLI on Windows and Mac. Both operating systems have different processes. So we are going to continue this entire tutorial on Mac, but I'm going to show you first how to install Gemini CLI on Windows, and then we will do everything on Mac. So we are on the computer screen, Windows, and we have to install Gemini CLI, but we need to install Node.js before we can install Gemini CLI. So I'm going to search Node.js on Google, and here is the Node.js. Let's click on it and just download the installation file. Once the file is downloaded, let's install the Node.js on our system. And the process is pretty straightforward. Just keep clicking next until you reach the final window and let it do its thing. And once the installation is done, just search for Gemini CLI and you will see a GitHub page in the search results. I'll drop this link in the description of this video. Just visit this page and let's scroll down and you will see this npm code. Okay, this is just one line of code. Just copy this and then on your system open command prompt. Okay, do not open terminal, open command, and on this command prompt window just paste the code that you just copied from GitHub page and just press enter, and then let's just wait. It will take 1 or 2 minutes to download the package and install Gemini CLI. The process is pretty much smooth, and once the installation is done, you will see messages like this. Now I don't know, maybe Gemini CLI is installed or not. Let's test it. So I'll just write Gemini, press enter, and within a few seconds you will see the Gemini banner on your screen, and here are the login options. So this was the entire process of installing Gemini CLI on Windows. Now let's go to the Mac and install Gemini CLI there. Now to install Gemini CLI on Mac, you need to have Node.js, but we will not use standard Node.js installation method just like we did on Windows. Instead, we are going to use brew. So we will open the terminal, and here I'm going to paste a command that will install brew on this system. Just hit enter, and now I have to type my password, then hit enter again, and now it will download and install brew on the system. Brew is a package manager that is going to help you a lot in a lot of different tasks, so it's better that you do it. Let's give it some time and it will done automatically. And now it is giving you next steps. You have to run these commands on your terminal right now to add homebrew to your path. Okay, so we are going to run these commands one after another. Let's just copy this, paste this and hit enter, and then again copy this and then paste this and hit enter. and then again copy this and then paste it here and hit enter. Okay, so everything is done. And now just let's type brew help, and it is giving you the entire help menu. Okay, so that means that brew is installed on your system. We are successful in installing brew. Okay, now we are going to install the node in the system. So I'm going to the terminal window again, and I will paste this code this time, brew install node, and hit enter. And now it will start installing Node.js on this system. And now the installation is done. Now let's verify whether it is installed or not. So I'll type node-v, and it will give you the version of node. So we have the version 25.2.1. maybe the number will vary for you depending on when you are following this video, but it means that node installation is successful. I'll just quickly check the npm version as well. It's 11.6.2. again, it will also vary for you depending on when you are following this video. Now we need to install Gemini CLI for real. So again, we are going to search Gemini CLI. Oops, Gemini CLU I type, but Google got it what I mean, and it will come to this GitHub page, and we are going to copy this code, and then we are going to just paste it here, and now it will do its thing and install Gemini CLI. Now there is another way of installing Gemini CLI as well, which is right after installing the brew, you can use brew to install Gemini CLI. But again, we need Node.js to be on the system to run Gemini CLI, so it's better that we install it anyway. So we have completed the installation of Gemini CLI, and let's run it for the first time. So I'll just type Gemini and hit enter. And now it's going to take little bit of time, and here you have Gemini on your system. Okay, and now obviously it is giving you one warning that you are running Gemini CLI on your home directory. It's not recommended. It's recommended to run it on a project specific directory, and that is the power of Gemini CLI. But before we do that, we need to log into Google account, because Gemini is not something open source. It's Google's own LLM model, and to use that you need a Google account. And how do you tell Google that you have a Google account? Either you use via Google account, or you use Gemini API key that will prove that you have Google account, or you use Vertex AI. But right now for this tutorial, we are going to use login with Google method. Now here's the thing, you can't log in with Google and just expect it to work. You need Google Cloud Console account as well, so that you can start using it. Okay, so before I click on this login with Google option, I will go to Google Cloud Console and create an account here. Okay, so I'll click here, and then I will have to create an account, try for free. So my account is selected here, country is selected here. I'll just click on this terms and condition button, agree and continue, and then I will have to click on this try for free. Right? Google will give you generous $300 to try this service, and you don't need to pay anything to use Gemini CLI, but you will need to create the payment method into your account so that Google verifies your account. So first thing first, I need to just give my name and address, and then I need to add the payment method. So I'll click here, click on debit card. Okay, and then I'll click on start free button. I need to add CVV number again. So now my Google Cloud account is set up, and I'll just finish the survey, click on done button. Okay, select anything and then just be done with it. And now here is your account. It's set up, it's ready to use. Okay, so I'll go to the terminal window again, and now I will click on this login with Google. Now again, if you want to use Gemini API, you can use your up and down buttons to navigate. And I'll go to the login with Google again, click on enter button, and then click on my email account. It will automatically open the Google login window on your browser, and you need to do is sign in. Just make sure that you are signing with the same account that you have used to create your console account, cloud account. Okay, and once it is done, you will be able to run. Okay, so now the verification is done, and here you can see the waiting for authentication message, and then authentication succeeded. So here, if you want to talk to the Gemini right here in this window, I can type hi, who are you, and it will reply back to you. Okay, so it is telling you I'm a large language model trained by Google. So this is done. It's working very good, and you can run Gemini on your terminal window, whether you're using Windows or you're using Mac. Both are working fine. Nice. But before I start showing you anything else, I need to change this theme. I mean, this kind of color is going to give me headache. So let's just change this one first. So to change the theme, you can just go to terminal and then settings. And here you can select the profile that you want to use, the theme that you want to use. I want to use Homebrew, right? This is what I want to use, and I will use this again. Okay, so I'll just click on default button. Now this is my default theme. Okay, so if I start the terminal again, it will open in this style. Now I will start Gemini again. Gemini, and let's wait, and Gemini is right here. Now you don't need to log in again because that logging process is just for the first time. Now you are already logged in and you can start using the Gemini. Now here are a few things that you need to do in order to use Gemini better. You see, here you are using Gemini 2.5, which is a good model, decent model, but you don't want to use it because there is Gemini 3, and Gemini 3 is better, efficient, smarter, multimodal. It can do a lot of things. Okay, so to use Gemini 3, you can't just click here and do anything. So I will just type a command, settings, and here. Now here you see this first option, right? You can again click on your arrow keys and just go to on one option or the other. So here is preview feature. Okay, I will just enter button here and it will select true, and now I can escape. So I will just, now when you come back to this window again, you will see Gemini 3 flashing here instead of Gemini 2.5, which is good. Okay, but now understand this. Whatever Gemini 3 features are available to you depends on what kind of plan you are using on Gemini. Okay, so if I go to Gemini on this particular account, and if I don't see any pro option here, it means that you are not using pro mode and you are just a free user. And if you are a free user, you are going to be limited in terms of how many chats and how many messages and how much uses basically you can get from Google. Okay, so Gemini 3 CLI is tied to your Google Gemini account. Okay, so if you just subscribe to their pro plan, you will be able to select the model and do more with Gemini itself. But for this tutorial sake, we are going to use the simple free model so that you can see what is possible with the free feature. Okay, so now this Gemini is working fine, and you can see you can send the messages back and forth, like when was Google found, and it will tell you something. But then again, you know, this is not the real use case for which you are watching this video. So let's do the professional thing and then see the use case of Gemini 3 CLI for SEOs. So it's telling us Google was founded on this and this date. Good, nice. Let's close this window right now. Okay, so I'll come to my drive and create a folder, Gemini SEO, and then we'll come to this. I'll create a folder again. I'll call it tutorial 1. Cool, nice. Let's position it and right click on it and then click on this new terminal at folder. Okay, because we want to open this terminal at this folder. Okay, and let me just position so that I can show you how you can start using Gemini CLI in this folder. Cool. Now let's enter into this folder. Okay, and here I will call Gemini. Gemini will take a few seconds to load, and it's here. Okay, so I have created a sort of demo keyword research sheet here on Google Sheet, and I have downloaded this in this tutorial folder in CSV format, and I'm going to use this CSV sheet to create articles on these topics. Okay, so I'll come to the Gemini and I'll say find the keywords from, and I want to refer to this specific file. I can say all files, but I want to refer to this file only, and I'll type at, and then I can just select this particular file. There's just one file, and then I say find the keywords from this file and write me 500 words articles for each keywords and save them in their individual text documents and save in this same folder. Okay, pretty simple task, and then just let it do its thing. So now you are not limited to copying and pasting anymore. You are doing it on its own. Okay, let it do its thing. Let it work on this sheet. Let it work for you, and all you have to do is just wait, chill, have coffee. Now if everything goes right, you should see the 3 article text file in this folder on its own without doing anything. Okay, it's asking my permission to write the file on this folder, which is obvious. It's doing it for the first time. So I can again click on allow once, or I can allow it for all the time. Okay, so I'll just click on allow for this session and then click OK. Now it has written 3 files on this folder. I can click on this file and just check this content. Okay, so here is day 1. This is for the itinerary for 3-day tour for Egypt. That was our keyword. Here we can verify whether this was keyword or not. This best dentist in Chicago, how to become professional footballer. Let's come to this folder again. So we have this first article. It's 500 words article. It's fine, cool. And then again there's another article, and then there is one more article. Okay, cool. Now this was the one task that can be done easily. It saved you useless clicks and copy pasting. It's fine, but let's do one more thing. I have this table, right? I have these keywords, but I don't know what is the intent of these keywords. Okay, so let's find the intent of these keywords. Cool. So let's come back to the terminal window again. Gemini is already opened here. So I will say go and I'll type analyze the intent of the keywords in @ Now I have a lot of files, but I will select my CSV file and categorize them in one of the intent, like informational, commercial, or navigational, and save the intent CSV itself. Okay, I'll just ask it to do its thing. It will run the analysis of this CSV sheet, the keywords, and it will identify the intent of these keywords, and then it will automatically save. Okay, so now it has completed its analysis and it has saved everything on this CSV sheet itself. Obviously you won't be able to see it here because this is Google Sheet. It can't open your Google Sheet. Now this file is opening on Adobe Premiere. Don't want that. Okay, just right click on it and click on text edit, and then you can see best dentist in your Chicago. The intent is commercial. 3-day tour itinerary for Egypt. The intent is informational again, and how to become a professional footballer. Intent is informational again. So let's just imagine that you have a CSV sheet, you have a Google Sheet that has 10,000 keywords in it, and you want to do the analysis of the intent. You don't need any fancy tool. You can do all of this using Gemini CLI without doing anything. No copying, no pasting. Now this was something sort of okay use. Now let me do one more thing. Okay, so now we are going to up the game a little bit, make it tough, and we are going to use the images that are in this folder, and we will create alt text for these images. Okay, and we are going to do this automatically, and the possibility itself, you can have your entire folder of website, and then you can use Gemini CLI to write the alt text for all of the images in bulk. Okay, so let's try this first, and what we are going to say is write the alt text for the images in this folder. Now what I can do is I can call these specific images file 1, file 2, file 3, or I can let Gemini figure out the images in this folder and write the alt text for them. And then I'll also tell it to save the alt text in a separate .txt file in this same folder. Now this magic is possible because Gemini is a multi-model and it can read your images, it can go through your videos, and obviously it can work with the text. So Gemini is using its all power to analyze the images, find out what's going on in this image, and then generate the alt text. So it already has created the alt text.txt file. Let's open this file and we can see the file 1.jpeg. It's a giraffe extending its tongue to eat a snack held by a young child at zoo. This is the image. Okay, no more guesswork, no more creativity hats, and everything is possible. File 2, a smiling young schoolgirl in a green uniform sitting in a wooden desk in a classroom holding a pen with classmates in the background. Is it true? Let's see. Yes, it's a child, it's a girl, and it's holding the pencil, and everything is fine. Cool. So alt text generation is also successful. Let's close this thing and let's make it even more tough for the Gemini to work around our task. We are SEOs, we handle a lot of tasks. Okay, so when Gemini used its ability to generate the text, it basically forgot a few things. Okay, we don't have meta title, we don't have meta description, and we don't have schema data. So let's ask Gemini to do all of these things for us. Okay, so I'm going to say generate meta title, meta descriptions, and schema data for the article files in this folder. Okay, and just to remove any confusion, I'm going to reference to these article files itself, this one, and best dentist in Chicago. I'm going to select this one, and I'm also going to select the how to become professional footballer.txt. Okay, and then I'm going to just enter the next button. Now when I hit enter, I forgot to add the instruction that you need to generate these things and save in these individual files, but I made mistake and I pressed the enter button before I could think. So now we are going to do this again in the next step, but let Gemini run these tasks and do its thing. Okay, so it has generated everything. Okay, and now it has article metadata .json file. Okay, so it has generated this JSON file, but I don't want this in JSON format. Okay, I don't want, I want this in a plain text file. So I will type this JSON file itself. I will reference this and convert this into a text file. Oops, again a typo, but it should do its thing. Okay, so this thing is done. Article metadata.txt file is here, and here you can see that articles SEO metadata file 3, 3-day tour, itinerary for Egypt.txt, meta title is here, meta description is here, and the schema data is also here. And now we did not actually tell it to what kind of schema data it needs to generate. It just went through the article and it found out that it can generate article type of schema data for this one, and then article type of schema data for this one as well. And in the third file, you can see that it has generated how to type of schema data, because the topic was how to become professional footballer. So the article must have the steps, and it has, and based on those steps it has generated how to type of schema data. The system is not just doing parroting, it's actually analyzing the content and generating the result based on the content itself. Now these are not the only thing that you can do. You can use Gemini CLI to do a lot of tough tasks as well. For example, you can ask it to go through your sitemap file or robots.txt file and analyze it and give you the hint, or maybe explain you why is it working or what is not working and what is the reason behind it. Now, for example, I'll go to a robots.txt. So I'll just copy this URL and then I will tell Gemini CLI go to and analyze this robots.txt and tell me what's your view about it in a text file in this folder. Okay, so you can see here that it's not just limited to the files that are saved in this folder. We have asked it to go to a particular URL, fetch the content, study it, and then analyze it and save it in the folder. So it is fetching the content from this URL, and now it is going to analyze it and tell you what it thinks about this txt file in a file saved in this folder. So it has saved its opinion about the snitch robots.txt in a file called snitch robots analysis.txt. Let's open it. Analysis of this in this file, robots.txt for snitch.co in is well structured and comprehensive file, likely generated or influenced by Shopify platform. Very smart, and it has added all of its analysis. So basically, if your robots.txt has some issue, if you think that it has some issue, you can ask your Gemini CLI setup to analyze it and tell you what it thinks about it. So I think now you can use Gemini in your SEO workflow, in your any marketing workflow, without going through 10 windows and browsers of any kind. Just point it to a folder and everything will run natively. See you in the next video. My name is Amit Tiwari for AmitTiwari.net, and I will see you next time. Take care.